Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about all the brand new perk changes coming to Space Marine 2 patch 12.0 with the Techmarine update. Now, this update is not only giving us a brand new class with the Techmarine, but we're also getting some major perk changes to other classes, most notably the Assault that got a huge rework. So first up, I'm going to be talking about squad cohesion. This is by far the least important of all the changes. This is now a 15% faster ability recharge for your entire team, up from 10%. To be honest, this perk still kind of sucks, but the next perk we're going to be talking about is incredible, at least an incredible addition. This one is called Strong Strike. Hitting an enemy with the Jump Pack's dash attack ability restores its charge by 1. Cooldown is 10 seconds. Now, currently on the public test server, this perk is actually broken. It will function on not only your Jump Pack dash, but also just your dash attacks in general. So that is definitely unintentional. But even with that perk effect active, I think this one is going to be pretty damn good, especially for Wings of Flame builds, because basically you'll be able to use your Wings of Flame to deal damage on the Jump Pack dash trajectory, and then also get it back at the very end with this, and also be able to trigger things potentially like even commitment here. So really good there, where you could actually double up on your Jump Pack dash, because for example, you would use the commitment perk here to get a recharge of your Jump Pack dash. You'll fly towards an enemy with your free Jump Pack, and then you'll punch them in the face and get another Jump Pack back. So really fun for that, and a bunch of free damage for Wings of Flame. Now, you may be wondering, where the hell did Hammer of Wrath go? Well, that is the next change we're going to be talking about here with the Prestige perk tree. So we have finally gotten rid of the dog shit perk Commendation, and is now replaced with the perk Hammer of Wrath. After using your Jump Pack, you will take 30% less range damage, and you do not lose control of heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 15 seconds. This perk was already pretty damn good, and the fact that it's now tied to the Prestige perk list, this is probably just a meta pick. I think this one is definitely better in the perk scramble targeting now. I would probably take this one over Adrenaline Boost even, because now you have just a free no knockback perk and range damage reduction, which is pretty substantial, and I think it's pretty crazy they put this in the Prestige perk tree. That's a huge boon for this class, and I think that changes up his playstyle quite a bit. Now, I do hope this is a sign of things to come for Space Marine 2, that we will get more Prestige perk changes like this in the future, because right now, the game has a lot of undercooked Prestige perks, and like only a couple of the classes have a really interesting perk tree. Like Sniper's Prestige perk list is actually pretty interesting, and as far as the new Techmarine Prestige perks, they took a Revive perk from Assault, and now the Techmarine gets one instead. This one's called Revive Surge. When the Techmarine revives a team member, both gain 15% faster ability charge regeneration for 10 seconds. This perk is garbage. I don't know why they gave this to Techmarine. It will also probably get reworked just like the other one on the Assault class, because I assume that what Saber Interactive is doing is they're looking at the overall pick rates for these perks and then changing them based on that. So I assume that one won't survive very long. That's pretty much all there is for the Assault class changes, besides the Winged Fury perk also now working on every single option for the power stance on the Power Sword. That's a little bit like less of a change, more of a bug fix. But besides that, that's all the Assault has. Now, the next class we're going to be talking about here is the Tactical class. Now, Tactical cannot stop winning in Space Marine 2. The first change we got to him is with Balance Distribution. This one has been upped to a 15% damage increase for your primary weapon, and your secondary weapon gets a further 15% less damage. So kind of an upside, kind of more of a downside as well. Not the biggest buff ever, but the next perk we're going to be talking about is insane enough that I made a whole video for it, and that is Crack and Penetrator rounds. Now, on the public test server, this perk description is completely broken. It says bolt weapons penetrate one more enemy, non-head shoot damage increased by 1%. What this actually does is it buffs up all damage from non-head shots, so body shot damage on your bolter weapons, by 50%. Now, that is a pretty huge boon. Now, currently, this is also bugged on the public test server to affect every single weapon that does not do headshot damage. That includes your Plasma Incinerator, that includes your Melter Rifle, that includes your Pyre Blaster burn effect, and it will also stack onto your Auspex, which means right now, Crack and Penetrator rounds in the PTS is positively nuts. But in the main game for patch 12, I don't think it's going to survive like that. Like, I doubt the burn effect of the Pyre Blaster is going to be taken into account for that, and it's to be primarily used for things like the Bolt Carbine, Heavy Bolter, and the grenade portion of these. But even if it only affects the grenade launcher and your body shots on your bolter portion, because these are all the bolter weapons, which is what it's supposed to actually be targeting, I think that's going to be a huge buff, because grenades in Space Marine 2, especially for Siege mode, because the bolt rifle with the grenade launcher is already a top tier pick in siege mode because it just has a ridiculous amount of damage output in an AoE, especially when you combine it with things like precise calibration and the concentrated fire auspex. That gives you a 195% damage buff to your auspex, and on top of that, you also have the prestige perk here, spare power, collecting an ammo box restores ability charge by 25%. So all of that taken into account, if you give a 50% bonus to the grenade portion of these weapons, that is pretty incredible all on its own. I really hope that this perk is not only going to work on the actual bolter rounds, because it might be the intention to have this only function on my Norris as like a horde clear option, which would be pretty neat. I mean, I think a lot of players would like that, things like the heavy bolt rifle, but as far as what I would like to see, we are getting a brand new heroic heavy bolt rifle with a grenade launcher. So having a grenade launcher buff perk on top of that would be pretty cool, and also be a nice little bonus to this brand new weapon. Now, the final class that got any perk changes in Space Marine 2's patch 12.0 update is the Sniper class, with the perk here, Efficient Readiness, that now lasts for 5 seconds after deactivation. With the perk effect being Camo Cloak increases your movement speed by 20%, and manually activating Camo Cloak automatically reloads your ranged weapons. Now, that is a kind of neat effect, I guess. If you want to go real fast, vroom vroom, you could definitely take this. Unfortunately, you are giving up either Purification, which is a god tier perk, or the perk down here, Renewal, which makes it so your Camo Cloak actually functions, because if you don't take Renewal, you are definitely taking the perk here, Squad Renewal, unless you hate yourself and you hate your Camo Cloak, because without one of these two perks, your Camo Cloak will just not come back remotely as fast. I feel like they're kind of like fundamental to this class in general, to the point I feel like at least one of these should be a passive, and maybe rework these perks at some point. But either way, for now, I think Efficient Readiness is kind of fun. It's just not that interesting, and definitely not that strong. Now, the next perk change here is a very minor one with Ambush. This one reads when your Camo Cloak deactivates, it startles and slows down nearby enemies for 10 seconds, and they will temporarily lose control or get knocked back. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Now, the only perk change to this is now it will force the stagger on all the enemies, which is a nice little change, because previously the stagger would just not trigger properly sometimes. But to be honest, this perk is still by far the weakest in this entire column, because we're in the same column as, guess what? A Lingering Concealment, which is one of the best sniper perks in the entire game, and Persistence, which is one of the other best perks in the entire game for the sniper class, which gives you a 20% health damage reduction and no knockback, and this one just makes it so you get more camos active, or I should say more invisibility time, which is just a way better effect than like staggering guys when your Camo Cloak deactivates. And overall, I think these sniper perks that they changed around this time are just kind of undercooked, which does kind of blow. And the final perk change they made, which is like a very minor one with Vantage Point, now you have an indicator when this is actually active, though this perk is okay. And that's pretty much all there is for the major perk changes in Space Marine 2 patch 12.0, at least so far. If you want to see an entire perk tree breakdown for the Techmarine class, because this is where 99% of the new perks in this patch are coming from, I did make a video about that I'll put in the description below. But for now, that is everything we have for the other classes. I will be making a build around the Assault and Tactical to showcase some of these new perk options, though I'm pretty sure the Tacticals, Crack and Penetrator rounds will not be functioning with non-bolter weapons in the future, but for now, it is a pretty funny option to use on the PTS. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about regarding the new perk changes in Space Marine 2 patch 12.0. Let me know what you guys think about these in the comments section below. I'm pretty sure the Tactical and Assault changes will be pretty popular for most players, and the Techmarine will definitely be popular because he's a brand new class. And as always, guys, thank you for watching, and if you want to come and hang out with me live or ask me questions about the game, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch in the video description below. And as always, take it easy. Bye.